Okay, today we are in the creative corner with some new friends of mine. Please introduce yourself and let us know what you guys do.
My name is Mike.
And I'm Aasha.
And we are the co-founders of WayOut. WayOut is an organization dedicated to connecting Black folks to safe and inclusive and affirming outdoor spaces. And so we're all about helping Black folks find spaces to connect with nature.
Okay, I like that idea. What got you guys interested in starting something like this?
Really, it's our own personal experience. We've been camping for quite a while, decades. Our kids have grown up going to campsites, but mostly it's been private campgrounds, state parks, and in most of those spaces it's a predominantly white space. Typically we're the only ones, like only people of color, in these spaces. And as we started thinking about traveling more throughout the U.S. and doing more camping and visiting places, we realized that we didn't really feel that there were spaces where we could feel truly safe and like we belonged and wanted and welcomed. And even though we know chances are nothing's likely to happen, when you're venturing out into rural areas, going throughout the country, especially in this post-Trump, post-Black Lives Matter movement kind of like era, that there's a lot of backlash and a lot of things you can run into. And so
we started we've been thinking about like different versions of WayOut for a little while, but it became really practical for us right around the Black Lives Matter protests, when we wanted to go across country and visit LA, and we were just like so excited to just drive and camp along the way. But we realized, that the racial hostility after the protest, we were worried about that. And I think not so much for ourselves, but when thinking about traveling with our kids, we were incredibly worried about it. And we were like, we didn't want to do it. But neither Mike or I are like, interested in letting fear rule our lives. So we were like, well, how can we do it? And we realized if we planned ahead of time and we figured out safe places to be, Black affirming places land owned by Black people, that we would feel pretty safe. But the more we kind of talked about it with other people, it looked like a lot of other people were looking for that same resources. They have that adventure spirit, they want to be outdoors, but a lot of us are in the cities and we've heard and we know like some of the horror stories. And so that's what we decided we were going to build. We were going to build a network for us and then build it for other people. And the idea just started developing from there.
We're in the Creative Corner on ESPN Richmond 106.1. And the fascinating thing about what you said is like, I've drove across the country 4 times. So I didn't camp though. I had to do a hotel. But I always tell people you can never describe the experience of driving across the country until you've done it. Like, that's the only time you can speak with someone about it, is if they did it as well. And I can understand the difficulties going through some of them towns. I was like, all right, let's hurry up and get gas and get out of here. So so when you live a lifestyle like this, is it something where do you guys have a stable like home city, like a home location, or are you just on the go all year?
Yeah, so we have a home base in Silver Spring, Maryland.
Okay.
But what we're looking to do is to build a sense of community, so that our home base is just one of many places where we feel at home. So along with it being about camping and just getting outdoors, this project, the WayOut Railroad, is also about building community and really like building infrastructure for our people to like connect with each other, share resources and skills with each other. And that's something that, that we feel is like vital, given just the way society is going, things like pandemics and, social unrest in terms of racial hostility. We feel like we're in a time right now where it's crucial for Black people and just people who are for human rights and people who are for equity in society to kind of band together and really network in a way that goes beyond ideology and ideals, but actual deeds, and giving people the space to actually collaborate and connect with each other and build with each other.
Yeah, and just travel without fear, right? And camp outside and be outdoors without fear of people seeing you as like you don't belong, and things ensuing from that.
When you guys talk about going camping and doing this, are we talking like tents, building resources from the natural resources? Is that what we're talking about here?
So we're definitely encouraging like simple living and getting back to basics and people being in nature. But the beauty of it is that there are many different ways that people can enter into the outdoor space. And you can, some people are like, give me a knife and send me into the woods and I'll go.
That's what I'm imagining.
Yeah, but and some people are like, no, I want a bed to sleep on at night. I want to be comfortable. I want to be in an RV or like a glamping tent, like I want to have AC inside a cabin somewhere. You can still spend the time outdoors in nature, hiking and doing things and still have like a comfortable place to rest your head or like you can have the amenities, flushing toilets and, just amenities that some people like feel like they need to have. So we're encouraging people to get in where you fit in, basically, like get outdoors more in the ways that you feel comfortable. Because connecting with nature is just a good way to regroup, to heal from trauma, it's a good way to simplify and just kind of like get your attention spans focused on the things that really truly matter and get away from all the distractions of social media and just, work nonsense. And so, there's no one way to camp. And we encourage people to, to just get out and travel and find their way,
Right. Yeah. And we have different friends and family members who are comfortable with different things. Right now, we have Mike built out a van for us, and it's just luxury for us because we've been tent camping with the kids for forever. But because this was, that was part of the way that we would be able to kind of connect landowners across the United States together. It's easy for us to just be able to pull up anywhere and camp that way. And there's like a whole, there's a whole like community of vehicle dwellers that live in their vehicles and they camp out. And then there are some people who like glamping, and a couple of our landowners, they offer those kind of accommodations. So it really is however you want to connect to nature, just do it.
We're in the creative corner with Mike and Aasha of WayOut. My last question for you guys is like, how are you building your community? Like, what ways are you reaching out to these communities? And can you just provide some of the resources that you may have for someone who may be interested in this?
Okay. Well, we're definitely students of history and looking at the way community organizing has been done successfully in the past, civil rights movement, Black Power movement, even going back to the Underground Railroad, which is one of our inspirations for building the above ground railroad. And so one of the things that you find is like just real simple face-to-face, human-to-human connection is at the heart of like movement building, community building. And so one of the things we're doing is physically going out to visit all the prospective like landowners who are interested in being a part of this project, really to like get to know each other, to feel each other out, and to really like connect us with them in a meaningful way so that when we send people there, it's like, Mike sent you, like they know that it's more than just a business transaction. We're really pushing the idea of like, this is personal and then this is about community. The other piece of it is we're building this around like the work, and people actually being contributors to the community. And so we'll have plenty of volunteer opportunities. We have a a Love on the Land program that we're developing, where people will be able to barter their time in exchange for, you know, a night of camping, or they could do multiple night stays, or people will be able to come to volunteer events and help landowners like clear a path, or, you know, like, or build a cabin, or whatever
Or
project.
harvest,
Yeah, like a crop.
crop.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so the idea is to really have an active, like vibrant community of people that's based in action and not just common interests. And so yeah, and so we're just going about it, just meeting people organically through our travels. We're reaching out to people, and the people who seem excited about the project, we set a time and we go out and visit. We have a tour coming up. Our second multi-day tour is coming up in April, where we'll be traveling throughout the Southeast. And we're preparing to launch the Southeast line of the WayOut Railroad in June of this year. In terms of resources, people can check us out on Twitter. I'm sorry, not Twitter, on Instagram at WayOut Railroad, or they can go to wayoutdoors.org for more information.
Well, everybody, you heard it first from Aasha and Mike from WayOut, who's teaching the Black folks how to connect with nature. So be sure to reach out to them if you're interested in that. And Mike and Aasha, I just want to thank you guys for coming into the Creative Corner, where we like to ask people how they take their ideas and turn it into a business. And I love what you guys are doing, because I know someone out there, it may not be me, but loves what you guys are doing. Like, I love what you guys are doing. So keep in touch. And also whenever that happens in June, reach back out so we can talk about it some more. I know you guys will have it more developed by then, and we can definitely talk about it.
Yep, definitely. Thanks for having us.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.